Hello, fabulous friends and fans. I am your host, Nadiya Shah, and welcome to another episode of Nadiya Shah Productions. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited to introduce you to today's guest, the guest for this episode, Michael Decorte. Now, I've actually known Michael for about 10 years, and I remember way back in the day, the thing that always inspired me about him was that he had this ability to be very honest with himself, and through that honesty, live differently. Because self-knowledge is one thing, right? Awareness is one thing, but what you do with it, how it helps you practically live a different life is another. And he was always a person that I looked to model that for me. And I remember years ago, Michael coming up to me and saying, "Oh, I just started taking yoga and it's so amazing and I'm totally in love with it." And I thought that I loved his enthusiasm. I thought it was wonderful. And so, of course, now, years later, he has become a pioneer in the field, inventor of Jock Yoga, and an ambassador for Lululemon as well. He is a person who has taken his spirituality and translated it to a message that he uses through his work, and he breathes and lives in every aspect of his life. I am so excited and really looking forward to a really wonderful, lively conversation with my friend, Michael Decorte. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Nadiya.
You're amazing.
You spotted, you got it.
I'm so glad you're here. You have no idea. I have seen, Michael has been doing so much media. You've become quite the media darling.
Yeah.
And I've been watching all these clips of you online, and I remember saying to you way back when, you got to do my show. When I have a show, you got to do my show. And right away you were like, yes, I will. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for spiritual media whore, oxymoron.
I don't think they necessarily cancel each other out.
No.
There's this very famous book by a brilliant astrologer, Rob Bresney, and he writes for Now magazine and really has a very unique voice. Well, he's written a novel called The Televisionary Oracle, and it's all about how when the spiritual revolution takes place, it will be televised. And so you're part of that.
Cool.
Yes,
Okay.
that's very awesome. So, tell me about your start in yoga.
I was very overweight growing up and very out of shape, and then I also got very messed up with drugs and alcohol, and then I had to sober up because my life was falling apart. I tried to sober up a few times, and the only way that I could stay sober, I found after a few attempts, was by trying to shift to a spiritual way of living. And part of that was getting physically fit. So I lost a lot of weight.
And so the weight loss came with you deciding to clean up your life or spiritualize your life?
Like, I wasn't sober and then I got fit. I started battling my addictions and battling my weight and my overeating at the same time. One day I wanted to lose a little bit of weight, just see what it would feel like to not be fat. Mm-hmm. And I went for a run. At this point, I had lived in Toronto for a little while, and then I left Toronto to start cleaning up my life. And I was living in northwestern Ontario, sleeping on my dad's couch. And so I decided to go for a run one day, and I ran 5 miles.
Well, let me just say, there's nothing like having to sleep on a parent's couch to make you think something's got to change.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
So you went for a run.
Yeah, I was still well over 200 pounds, still a chain smoker, and I just decided one day I'm going to go for a run. In the first year that I was sober, I ran 2 marathons, and I qualified for the Boston Marathon. Never ran another marathon after that.
So what stopped you from the whole marathon journey, the running journey?
Well, I had started yoga at this point.
Okay.
This is when I had met you, and I was explaining that I loved yoga, right? So yeah, that was 10 years ago this summer. Actually, 9 years ago this summer, I think, because I've been sober for a little while, I think, by the time I met you. And yeah, I really fell in love with yoga because, like I said, I needed a little something spiritual as well, to stay sober. And when I found yoga, even though it was really challenging because I wasn't flexible at all, it was still really challenging, and it really pushed me in a different way, and I was starting to stretch open and calm, and I found it to be very spiritual and connected me, more so than running, more so than bodybuilding. When I finished my second marathon and I went back to my yoga class, I was getting in some of the postures and I felt broken from running because my body was just like
Well, yeah,
tensed up and ripped in half, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, I've done half marathons, and so I know that, I mean, I remember the last half marathon I did was here in Toronto, and I really could not get out of bed for a couple of days.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah, the last marathon I did was, now, Michael and I are huge Madonna fans, both of us. We talk about her a lot on Facebook and everywhere else. We'll always, you know, say very nice things about Madonna. And the last marathon I did was in the day, and in the evening was Madonna's last concert tour that she did, the last time she was in Toronto. And I wanted to go so badly, but something in me...
Is this the one? The concert?
The concert, the...
That I was at?
Yes, of course, yeah, I was just going to say, like, I saw so many pictures
Don't get me talking about Madonna.
Oh my God, I saw so many pictures on Facebook of Michael right there, right in the front, eye to eye with Madonna, and a part of me inside was just broken that I didn't get to go to the show, but I knew when you're going to do a marathon, don't try to go out that night and have a party. So I chose the marathon over Madonna. Yeah, a part of me feels sad inside, but I lived it through you. I lived it through you from the countless pictures you took on Facebook.
And from the picture that's in her book.
Yes, that's true as well. Michael made it into Madonna's book as well.
She gave me the microphone and asked me to sing with her. And I professed my undying love to her in front of thousands of people.
I would have done the same.
I made it on the big screen.
Every generation needs its rebels and needs people who will question dogma and ideals and values, and institutions. Yeah. And I think that's part of the function of an artist.
I see Madonna more as an inspiration for me, though, because of just her... She had a desire to be famous. She had a desire to be successful, and that desire led her to where she is. And she followed her dream, believed in herself, believed in her dreams, and then she's this phenomenon now. And I just think I think it's amazing. And if she didn't exist, in all honesty, I don't think I would still be here in the depths of my addiction, the depths of my depression. I needed people like her to exist, to make me realize, to persevere, to believe in my dreams, to believe things can get better. And like I said, when I was fat, and I believed that I could overcome, and I'm sure having people like her, she's a fitness role model as well. I mean, she's the ultimate Jock Yogi. I want her to endorse me.
Yes.
I want you to endorse me, Madonna.
And I say this as your friend. I say this as someone with a strong intuition, and also as someone who's seen your chart.
Right.
But I do believe with all my heart that Madonna will endorse Michael Decorte one day. Not that far in the future, actually. I completely relate, and this is another place that we are united in our friendship, is that we share that. You know, I too was about 100 pounds heavier than I am now. And Madonna was one of those shining examples, or an icon of strength.